What's up team, it is Wilson, also known as Design by Will. Today we're going to go ahead and learn how to make realistic mockups. This has been one of the most requested things on this whole journey of designing every single day. So let's go ahead and lock in and get started. Realistic mockups. Now making realistic mockups is fairly easy. Well, the way I'm going to show you guys today is probably going to be the most easiest way. We're going through three variations. So easy, which is mainly just adding your graphic and changing the blend mode, and then medium, which is, adding a new layer on top for your shadows where you can turn that off and on. And then we got hard, which is basically you building a garment from scratch. It's not perfect, obviously, because, this is a tutorial just showing you the basics, which then you can go and apply to your own design language. So let's go ahead and add in a new layer. And by the way, I got all these images straight from the actual branded website. So if I go to Rude and I search up, let's say, where's the men's hoodies? No hoodies, but they have this. This would be cool to turn into a mockup. They have this, so I'm gonna download this, download image. So yeah, I'm gonna use this actually. This is gonna be level one. Level one is basically just changing the blend mode of your graphic to fill the mockup. First thing you wanna do, grab your image, make sure it's a high resolution. This is good enough, and start cutting. Now do as I say and not as I do. So make sure you spend your time and cut out your image properly. Me, I'm just rushing for the sake of showing you guys exactly how to do this. And for cutting, I use the pen tool because it is the most accurate selection. And then I'm going to press OK. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a mask. And then I'm going to convert that mask into a smart object. And then I'm going to go ahead and just rasterize that layer. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and grab the clone stamp tool. And then I'm going to go ahead and hold Alt/Option on my Mac keyboard and then select an area which I want to duplicate. So this area, click it down, and then I'm going to apply that to this and remove the logo extremely quickly. Next, for this one, I think let's go ahead and grab a graphic that we can just slap all over. Let's go ahead and grab this. And I'm going to go ahead and make this max selection. And I'm going to go ahead and create a clipping mask. And then from this, I can go ahead and go into the blending options. And then from here, I'm going to play with these adjustments. So this is going to get rid of the highlights. This is going to get rid of the shadows. And then this is for the underlying layers for the exact same thing. So we want to basically get rid of this layer because the image is white. So on the underlying layer, I'm going to go ahead and hold Alt and then drag one of the points. So if you drag two, this is what it looks like. Drag one, and then I'm going to just drag it all the way down about here. So you can see the graphic still, but you get to see some of the actual garment in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a mask. Let me be professional and let me do this nicely. I'll use the pen tool, press selection. And then on that layer, I'm going to go ahead and fill that in with black on the mask. So yeah, that's just a basic overview on like how you would add a graphic onto a simple shirt. It is the exact same steps, just clipping mask and then just add your layer on top and then that's it, bam. Number two, which is difficulty hard, I guess medium, because the only thing you're going to be changing is color of the garment. Go ahead and cut out your image. I'm just going to be using the subject selection to show you guys a quick demonstration. And then again, follow the same steps, convert that into a smart object and then rasterize that layer as well. This time, I want you to go ahead and add a layer on top. And then I want you to go back to this layer and head over to selection and go to color range. And now in color range, I want you to go ahead and click the midtones and then adjust these settings until you have the selection of your midtone. You can see your image down here roughly. I wish you could make this bigger, but you can't. So I just want some of those midtones, but not too much around here. Perfect. And I'm going to fill this new layer in with black of that selection. There. I know this looks very intimidating, but let's go ahead and just drop that down to overlay. And then I'm going to go ahead and just actually turn down the opacity just a bit. Perfect. Now what we can do is basically add our image in between these two layers. So let's say we like this graphic. Let's go ahead and add it in between our two layers. And you can see here that the actual design of the garment and the fabric of the garment is on top of our graphic, which is basically what we want to make it look realistic. Now let's go ahead and change the garment color. So all you want to do to change the garment color is go ahead and add in a gradient map. And then bam, you can already see the gradient of the gradient map changing the color. All you have to do is press create clipping mask. And then from here, you can go ahead and adjust the colors. So this is the shadows of your garments. These are the highlights. Let's say you want to make a red shirt. First, start with the shadows. You want a maroon color because those are going to be the shadows of a dark or a bright red shirt. They're going to be maroon. They're not going to be black. I want you to drop this in a little bit. And then I want you to go to your highlights and select red. And this can be any sort of red, but I like to stay within these tones because it keeps it within a reasonable color. If you go all the way here, it's too bright. This is perfect around here. Amazing. And then you can add another layer on top of this. And then in this layer, grab a very soft round brush and then go in with a white, like so. Actually, we can add it on top of this as well. And then basically all you have to do is just change the opacity. And now you have a fake wash on your garment. Let's go. We can add that anywhere we want, really. And then just create a clipping mask for everything. And now that's level 2 complete. Let's go ahead and change the backgrounds to black. Not transparent, black, thank you. Makes it look a bit more luxurious. So now let's go on to level 3. Level 3 requires a lot of steps because now you're cutting out and mixing images together. So add in a new layer and we're going to go ahead and grab the cutout that we made of our object, which is just a hoodie. Switch this back to white so we can see what we're doing. Now go ahead and do the exact same steps, convert to a smart object, rasterize layer, and then basically cut out your image or cut out the section that you want removed. And then invert mask of this mask. So I'm going to go in with a white brush and just add back in what didn't need to be cut out. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and add a layer. And then we're going to basically grab our reference or donor image, which is going to be the exact same image we used for this one right here. So let's go ahead and grab this T, drop it into this file, and we want to basically just cut out this section of the T. Selection, okay, cut out, lovely. And then we'll just scale it proportionally, so around there, and then convert that into a smart object as well. Again, I'm just rushing these cutouts. Make sure your cutouts look a lot better than mine. Use the pen tool and fill in the areas that are missing. Selection and fill this layer in with the same color you have of your garment. So eyedropper tool and then fill. Now that looks good. Actually, let's drop this down a bit. We just need to drop this down. So that looks good right now, but again, these colors don't match. So convert these two. So the layer that you made with the new color and your original layer with your garment on it, convert those into a small object together and then rasterize them, turn the layer off, and then just go to town with your clone stamp tool, soft brush again, and start stamping. Go and stamp this logo out. You can even remove this. Just use an eraser to remove this bit. And let's add in back our color. But you see these sections here, they're not complete. So I'm going to turn this back off. And then I'm going to use one of the magnetic selections to create a barrier for our stamp. Let's go get our stamp and make sure we don't go over that barrier. There we go. Now the new area matches our color of our garment. From here, let's go ahead and color our garment as well. So create a clipping mask create a gradient map, and then create the clipping mask on the actual new foreign object that you've added. And then you can just start coloring it. So same exact steps that we've used previously for coloring everything else. We got our shadows, which are going to be very dark blue, I'm assuming. And then our highlights, which are going to be, might be a gray instead of a blue. So something around here. And then to make it a bit more realistic, you want to add a new layer underneath this. With the black brush, create some fake shadows. And now let's go ahead and add a mask again, and then remove the color from the zipper. So it's a bit more realistic. Selection, fill this in with black. Bam, you have a custom mockup. Now you can go ahead and group everything, convert that into a smart object, and then create a clipping mask of a gradient map. And now you can go ahead and basically just change the color of your whole garment. Let's make it white. So if we want to make it white, we're going to start with the gray. We're going to add in another layer right here. And it's going to be a lighter gray this time around here. And then we're going to move this in until we have a solid white garment. And same exact steps. You basically always want to remove what you don't want color of and just, you know, get rid of that. But for the sake of this video, I'm not going to change it. I just wanted to show you guys exactly the 3 main key differences between making realistic mockups. Again, the quality of your image will very much affect how your actual mockup looks like. So I would say this is the best quality image. These two, not so much. But yeah, you can see that the banding of the color reflects the actual garment quality. So if you get a high quality scan of a t-shirt, this is not going to be an issue. But again, that's exactly how you make mockups for your clothing brand or realistic mockups. You apply this to any sort of, you know, mockup you have. I thought the pocket was off. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that video. I'll see you guys tomorrow.